and made us abandon our language, and now we speak Luo. And many of the Luo culture is now our culture. And these Luos were very smart. They did this through giving us their women. So when the man goes hunting, he leaves his children with a Luo wife, Acholi wife, who teaches the children Acholi and Acholi culture. Now, who are you? Which man is that one who will come and oppose? The whole family speaking this Acholi culture. And slowly by slowly, we had this assimilation. So we had peace with our neighbors. We also were looking for peace with our Creator, in whichever way we define that Creator. But we believed in a Creator. We were searching for peace in that journey. My ancestors were searching for peace. And Lango culture, as of today, is greatly imbued with a culture and a history of searching for peace, ever searching for peace. In our physical life or physical life journeys, and even today, in pursuing a better life for our people, we are hankering after peace, looking for peace. Peace, when I came here, I found a presenter, he defined peace. I largely agreed with him. Peace is absence of conflict of whatever nature. I told you, peace with nature. Scientists are telling us today, man is not at peace with nature. Global warming, we are fighting nature. Cutting of trees, we are fighting nature. We go to the forest, have contact with the wild animals, bring back deadly epidemics like COVID or Ebola. We are fighting nature. We are not at peace with nature. But peace is simply absence of conflict. And conflict comes as a result of contact. Any conflict will arise as a result of contact. Contact between communities, contact with wild animals, contact between rival football clubs, contact over rivaling over land. Conflict is a result of contact. Unregulated, and you don't know how to regulate that contact, breeds conflict. Now, the primary role of cultural leaders is not to eliminate conflict, because we shall not eliminate. It's very difficult. It's impossible to eliminate conflict, because conflict manifests in so many forms. If I was to enumerate all of them, we would leave here tomorrow. But the primary role of cultural leaders is to resolve conflicts, knowing that they will arise. They will arise within families. They will arise within clans. They will arise within neighboring communities. They will arise with the temporal authority, with the government. The rulers, with the communities, will conflict with government. We will arise with or even within the spiritual authorities. These conflicts will arise. So our primary role is to resolve them. And in our culture, we have got a special group of elders who are called Itogo. Itogo, it's not written, but if you are 80 and above, you qualify somehow. Because you are taken to be all wise and you are not interested in earthly matters anymore. And your presence exudes wisdom, authority, and peace. So these are wise people who counsel the Wonyachi, who counsel the cultural leaders, and who go into the communities to settle conflicts and administer conflict resolution rights. We have this group of people. Of course, now we try to infuse them with the senior lawyers, like the Reverend Father, who is a philosopher, a lawyer philosopher. If he was in Lango, though he looks young, he would have been admitted in this community, though he sits at the back because of his age. He doesn't sit in front. And he only talks when he's allowed to talk. All this is to seek for peace in the community. That our young people, our married people, our farmers, the rich, the poor, should find cultural justice through these people. And cultural justice, which is dispensed without fear or favor. Culturally, there are things you cannot tell somebody ordinarily about themselves. But these people, because of the gray hair and their disinterest in earthly life, they can tell you. And you don't take offense. Thus, the Lango culture, we and the Church of Jesus Christ, we are in contact but also not in conflict. Because our value systems are the same. The Church and Lango culture, we fish in the same water, the same population, the same people. And we don't rival. We're in contact, but not in conflict. Both the Church of Jesus Christ, which this one is, and Lango culture, we believe in the existence of the Almighty Creator. This is a very important point for us. The Church, you talk of Apostles' Creed, you talk of the Lord's Prayer. In Lao, we talk of Jojo Kamalo, not Jojo Kaping, Jojo Kamalo. That means there's something up. Jojo Kamalo. Now, when an elder tells you Jojo Kamalo, there's no greater blessing than that one. There's even a song we sing to children, or our grandparents sang to us. Jojo Kamalo atin dong romando bingkela paiba ania atin bero kela pa ania atin bero. That blessings from heaven on this child to look after me in my old age. So we are similar. The church and Lango culture define a family as made of a union between man and a woman. This is found in your book, or in our book, holy book, Genesis 2:24, and in Matthew chapter 19, verses 4 to 5. And compare this to Nyomlao. Nyomlao is never a marriage between a girl and a girl, or a boy and a boy. No. Don't even think of it. The church I know also does not recognize that, or the Bible I read does not. A family is a union between a man and a woman in both church and culture. We both promote peace and love for all. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 verse 13 compares very well with our Tekwarlao motto, which says Kuj enteho. We both advocate for forgiveness. Matthew chapter 18 verse 21 to 22 as compared to Kayo Chuk in Lao. Acholi and Luo Matoput, Lao Luo Kayo Chuk. Forgiveness. Both church and culture, we use proverbs and parables for imparting wisdom to the people we lead. In the book of Bible, there is a whole book of Proverbs. Our Lord Jesus Christ taught through parables, many parables, if you read the New Testament. Now in our culture, we have the Ichina. I think the Langi here will understand this. Storytelling, and it's if within that story, there's a message. They're teaching the children or the young people, especially children, against wayward characteristics like greed, sexual immorality. But they tell you in the story, once upon a time, there was this. Once upon a time. There is coach. Coach is riddle. Coach aba alito. Karangeko ni alito no. Palakilo pore malo. You wouldn't let me take an palakilo pore malo. What is that one? Yeah, when now you know it. Charolok. Charolok. Some of them are very strong. But we have a lot of charolok. All these are meant to impart wisdom. Now, peace in diversity. I want to be understood clearly here that when there is no conflict or we have managed conflict, it does not mean we have uniformity of thought, of opinion, or now we all belong to the same group. No. That's not the real world that I know. Absence of conflict or minimum conflict simply means we have learned how to resolve conflicts in diversity. And religious and cultural leaders should recognize and respect that diversity. Churches, you have many. I see in Lango we have many. Catholics, Protestants, Pentecostals, Seventh-day, Muslims. In the clans, from 3, you had the exhortations here talked of 3. When we came from Abyssinia, there were 3. Now today they are 170. They divide clans because they fail to manage conflicts over meat. The Langi, they love meat and bride wealth. When he has killed an animal, he doesn't want to share with his brother. So the brother gets annoyed and said, I've also started my clan. When they are married, his daughter, instead of sharing the bride wealth with the clan, he refuses. The clan says, go. Failure to manage conflicts. We have diversity in relation to political parties. Like in Uganda, there's so many parties. I don't know how many parliament has recognized, but you know them. We have diversity in tribes. We have Lango, we have Acholi, we have Luo, we have Lubara. In Uganda, I'm told we have 56. We have races, those with the different colors of our skin. We have classes, those who drive Mercedes-Benz and eat chips and chaps for breakfast, and those who eat cassava, boiled cassava for breakfast. These are diversities we cannot avoid. We have the diversity of disability. We have those who are healthy, who can see, who can hear, who can walk. And we have those who are disabled in one way or another. We have diversity in gender, and I want to be understood here. For me, gender is man versus woman. Some clever people who are in conflict with God, I told you, conflict arises, conflict with God is also, when you're in contact with God and you tend to rival God, you are in conflict with God. Some clever, inverted commas, people have introduced a third gender. Understand, in Europe, now they also have a separate toilet for themselves. They are called, is it transgender or something? Lango culture does not recognize that. It is a man or a woman. And if these people exist, they need assistance. Medical assistance, and they should be counseled to be who they are. Can only be a man or a woman. If we start introducing a third gender here, we are tinkering with the creation, the creator. The creator knew what he was doing. And even the Bible says he created them man and male and female. Somebody knows, it is in the Bible there. So these diversities, we the cultural leaders and the churches must learn to tolerate them and work with them. Now, these groups do not propagate against religion and culture, and they are not against us. These diverse groups, the tribal groups, the disability groups, the clans, the religious, they are not propagating against God and culture. So if they are not against us, they are for us. If you find this in Mark, book of Mark, chapter 9, verse 38 to 41. If they are not against us, they are for us. Mao Zedong, the famous Chinese leader, once said, let 100 flowers blossom and 100 schools of thought contend. Allow diversity of thought, allow diversity of belonging. It's beautiful. So we have to confront challenges while united. Challenges that let us lose our peace. Since 1971, the infamous military coup, Lao has lived from one conflict or another. And we discussed this at length at our Lao conference 2012. Political instability and state-inspired violence on the Lao people between 1971 and 1979. The state abdicated its role of providing peace for Lango people and went hunting for imaginary enemies among the Lango people, leading to so many deaths and leaving orphans and widows. From 1980 up to about 2006, 2007, Lao has never realized peace because of cattle rustling, which now started with the firearms in 1979. Till to date, Lao has experienced HIV and so many other epidemics. Ebola, COVID. We have also experienced intra-communal strife ourselves, fighting over this and that and that. Such as for land conflicts, brother fighting brother, clan fighting clan. Family instability. The man has abandoned the children, the wife and the children, and has eloped with another woman. Adventurous mothers who have also abandoned the man with the children and has eloped in town with another man. Children who are in the street children. Now they call them Ohuwuk. I don't know where that word came from. It's not an original word in Lao. But it connotes something terrible. Somebody who lives by looting or shaking people's pockets. Lao has experienced religious rivalries. We have had it, and I think we still have it, among the religious leaders themselves and different faiths. We have had political disagreements. We have had rivalries in the cultural leadership. In cultural leadership. And as you heard, in the quest for peace, that's why we held election on 1st March, in the hope that this time a democratically elected paramount chief shall now reign and bring peace. Lango has experienced economic hardship. People who cannot afford even one meal a day. People are going hungry. Children who are being chased out of school. People who can't afford decent clothing. People who can't even afford the basics of treatment of the simplest of diseases which are treatable, like malaria. We have them there. And as a result, there is rampant poverty. School enrollments are low, and I have statistics from UBOS. I'm quoting government statistics from UBOS in the last survey they did in Lango. Low school enrollment is quoted there in the government handbook. Poverty is high. Girls dropping out of school is very high. Prices that the farmers get for their farm produce is exploitative and very low. There is a poor personal and homestead hygiene Government statistics say there are even homesteads in Lango where people still defecate in the bush. No pit latrine. In this age, when others have gone to the moon. We have deforestation. People burning charcoal, finishing trees to burn charcoal, to sell, to get some little peanuts. Fighting with the nature. Because when we cut trees, we are fighting with the nature. We have loan victims. People who tried their hands in business, went to loan sharks to get money. Now they are crying because they have lost even the little capital they had. Lost a house, lost a family land. They are living as destitutes. Loan victims. They are there. Land grabbing. Even among ourselves. Some people who have some means are so insensitive to the common people that they grab their land. I was hearing and shocking, somebody selling, I don't know, acres of land for mere 3 million shillings. Is there in Lango. Worst of all, skyrocketing corruption among those who are supposed to provide for us social services, provide for us drugs in hospital, to provide for us well-paid teachers. Their money is taken in corruption. So the question is, how do cultural leaders, cultural and religious leaders, ensure peace among these challenges? It's a very big question, and I would want to hear answers. How do you preach peace to somebody who has lost a family land, to a loan shark? What peace is he having? How do you preach peace to somebody whose land has been grabbed by the mafias, land mafias? How do you preach peace to a girl, a single mother who was maybe raped or deceived, produced a child infected with HIV? The man has disappeared. She dropped out of school. How do you preach peace to that? Or how do you ensure peace? It's a challenge. And I request anyone with answers or guidance to share with me and to share with the cultural leaders and the religious leaders. But there's the little we can do amidst these challenges, because we are not going to sit on our laurels and keep on regretting and lamenting. No, we must do something. We must preach and practice what we preach to the people. No pretense and no double standards. For example, these important people, the Owitong. Owitong should preach against poverty to his people by word of mouth, but should also have a personal demonstration farm of 4 acres as preached by our president. President has been moving around the country preaching about the 4-acre model. And Owitong should have this 4-acre model. Cassava there, beans there, chicken there, goats there, pigs there, within that 4 acres, or even more, 4 or more acres. To get some little income to the family, so that you stop living in destitution. And I will always repeat, a poor Owitong or a poor cultural leader is a poor leader. When you are poor, then you are even poor in your ideas. Then we can't even listen to you. Because what are you going to tell us, which you could not tell yourself? Even the ideas you give us in meetings is poor.